What's up YouTube, my name is Birdman778 and welcome to another Outriders video. Today I'm going over Devastator skills and I'm going to be putting them in a tier list, letting you know exactly what tiers are that S cream of the crop tier and what are those dog doo-doo skills all the way at the bottom. And I'll actually give suggestions on exactly what you need to do for those abilities to kind of make them better in the long run. But before we get into anything, I want to let them know inspiration behind this actually came from the homie Chadley99. He recently did a video over pyro skills, and I actually really kind of pushed me towards wanting to make a pyro myself. It's going to be our next build that we're going to be doing over my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/birdman778. So actually check out Chadley here on YouTube and Twitch at Chadley99. Right here is a thumbnail for his video for his pyro skill tier list. So check him out. Really inspired me to do this and actually kind of led me in the right path of what I need to be doing for my own pyro. But before we get into anything, let you know, please subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying it. We recently got YouTube partners, so it's been really great to find so many new people coming into the channel, whether it's my Twitch or YouTube, just enjoying the videos and stuff like that. If you are, please make sure you're subscribing. Do know we're going to be having some extra tiers here soon, giving you different things, whether it's emojis or VIPs over in my Twitch and like some free subs or some behind the scenes content, again, here on YouTube in those different tiered systems. Now, let's get right onto the video. So again, we decided to do the tier list system here. We're going to do S through D tier, S being obviously the best of the best, A being pretty great, B being like also good, but here's some suggestions, C kind of okay, and then D being we don't like it, it's not great, something like that. We will see exactly what everything lands, but first off, let's start off with our ability Earthquake. Earthquake is going to be an easy choice. It is a tier S skill. Earthquake is going to be something that you're going to notice on most Devastators using it. It is a great ability not only for the damage that it does, but it interrupts skills, has a low skill cooldown, and has a wide range of enemies it's able to hit. Whether they're even flying enemies up in the air, it will still affect them in some type of way. It has great mods on it, whether it's bleed, increased damage, increased range, strip armor, steal health. A lot of stuff is applicable for this. It was something in the demo that I wasn't sure was going to be able to scale up well, but it has been an easy choice for me now to say this is one of the best skills for you. Tier 3 mods for it, you're able to add an extra charge of it so you can get up to 3 uses of it doing lots of damage, or the mod Asunder where you're able to strip armor permanently from enemies. This is a great one. I think you should use it. Next up is Golem. We're going to put this on the A tier. Now, in the demo, I didn't think Golem was really going to scale up well, just for the fact that it's not a damaging ability, the fact that it's mainly just a protection skill, and the fact that it has such a long cooldown, I was really worried about, but the application of this skill is amazing. Whether it's using the skill to extend the duration by 2 seconds and increase the duration in total. You have a tier 3 mod where you increase the duration for yourself and also inflicts a golem on your teammates, so they're protecting them as well. But also the fact that in our skill tree we have things like champion and paladin, where we're able to either get extra gun damage or extra anomaly damage, and the fact that it just mitigates 65% of the damage being dealt at us. It is something that's really great. You're going to be noticing on a lot of Devastators that are looking for some survivability in that CT15 standard, and it's something that I really enjoy myself. Next up is Boulder Dash. Now, Boulder Dash is going to be a C tier ability. Now, I did a video kind of covering exactly why I thought the issue of this ability was the fact that we're not able to select an enemy and hit them directly is a big issue. The fact that half the time that it will just shoot past an enemy, you won't even hit an enemy. It might only activate for like half a second, something like that. It's kind of inconsistent. But the reason why it's not on a D tier is because it has so many mods that are very well usable in the later game, and the fact that we have the armor mod, armor set being death proof, where we are able to get a 90% cooldown on this ability, so you're constantly able to just activate it. We have a mod where it strips resistances by 50% permanently from the enemy. We have bleed, we have extra damage, we have extra everything because of the skill. But again, it's the fact that it's just not really consistent when it comes to the damage that it does, and the fact that we just shoot past enemies at a time, that I would have to put it here at C. Next up, we're going to use Endless Mass. Now, I'm going to put this on the B tier. Why are we putting this on the B tier? It's a great ability because, one, it's able to apply more damage to enemies. It has some great tier 3 mods where we're able to apply more anomaly damage or get a larger range to it. Also, the fact that it has great tier 1 mods, we're able to inflict vulnerable, inflict bleed, do extra damage, or do extra weapon damage to enemies afflicted by it. Has a great combination with the Marshall set. I have a video covered by that. It's my top tree Devastator build. Definitely check it out. It's a really cool video. But the reason why it's on B is the fact that we're not able to consistently activate this on those higher tiered enemies. That's gonna be captains and above. Whenever enemies activate either that like anomaly armor or activating their anomaly resistance, where they have that little like circle in the corner where it's a little countdown, whenever that activates, we're not really able to apply this to those enemies. Now, having an entire enemy where you're not able to apply it to, let's say like the final battle you're doing is just a brood mother, and she's constantly activating those things, you're not going to even be able to use this skill at all. So it's a reason why it's on this B tier. I still think it's a great ability for long term, but because of that infliction, unable to inflict it on an enemy, is why we're putting it at B. Next up, we have Gravity Leap. Now, Gravity Leap, we're going to be putting here at S. Now, this is one of my favorites just because, one, it gives Devastator so much mobility for the fact that we're able to just shoot across the battlefield in an instant, do damage to an enemy on a wide radius, and then jump right back up in the air with different mods like double jump, and then go right back to somewhere else. It allows you to have a lot of movement, allows you to have a lot of damage. Tier 3 mods being double jump and despair being that 1.5 extra anomaly damage. We're able to stack that with double jump, the other tier 3 mod. And this is the fact that it has a great other great tier 1 mods where we're able to do more damage, do bleed, or do the life absorption, where doing damage to enemies heals us, or killing an enemy heals us for even more. Puts it really high up for me. Has a great cooldown on it too, and also the fact that it has application on bottom tree and top tree as well. I think it makes it an easy choice to put on S tier. Next up, we have Impale. Now, Impale is going to go in that A tier. Now, this one's amazing just because of the fact that one has a great range of modifiers to use for it. We have ones where we're able to use more cooldowns of it. We're able to inflict more enemies with bleed. We're able to hit more enemies with this at one singular time. You can have a couple enemies in front of you, all low health, and you can hit them all at once with a giant spike. The fact that it applies armor and health regeneration to you and your allies is super great. I really enjoy it. The only thing holding it back for me is the fact it has kind of a longer cooldown. That's the only reason why I wouldn't put it in S tier, but at the same time, this is a near perfect ability to have for something like a full offensive build. You're doing like a bleed build, you can use the Rivers of Blood modifier where we do 50% more damage to bleeding enemies. This one is so much fun. I was really glad that we were able to really test it out and use it well in those higher CTs. Now we're going to be using Reflect Bullets, and we're going to be putting that on D tier. Now, if we were to increase this list a little bit bigger, I don't think I'd put on like F tier or anything like that, because it does have some like later potential depending on some fixes. But at least for right now, I don't really enjoy it. Why? Because the fact that it seems to be like a co-op based skill that really doesn't seem to do well in co-op, in my opinion, is why I put it here. If you were playing CT15 with like a Pyro, a Technomancer, or a Trickster, and you're holding this up, protecting your teammates, making sure all that damage doesn't hit them, and then shoot it back out to do more damage at the enemies. By the time you probably shoot that back out, your teammates more likely have killed everything, and you're kind of just in this mute point of not doing anything at that moment. The infliction that you're probably going to do to the enemies isn't going to be enough to really justify using the skill. Using it in single player play, I have noticed that it's just not really great, because there is such a different balance of enemies on the field constantly, whether it's captains shooting miniguns, which is great, we'd like to see that, but then we got like the melee guys running up to us and swatting at us, getting behind us, hitting us that way. The fact that it's a one-dimensional skill kind of tends to hurt us. Now, you have something like Auto Reflect you can put on where it mitigates 50% of the damage from you. It'll immediately bounce the bullets back at enemies. That's awesome and all. But I noticed that a lot of times when an enemy shoots you with that, they're staggered. And by the time they get back to the point where they're going to shoot you again, for you to, I guess, obviously do damage to them with that Auto Reflect, the timer's already out. It's got a good cooldown on it of like 14 seconds, but at the same time, I just don't think it's all that worth it to use. It's something that I'm really trying to make kind of work, kind of like Boulder Dash, but I feel like it just kind of, it's a skill that tends to fall off, especially with abilities like Paladin or Champion, where we're getting that extra damage depending on which one we're using, whether it's weapon damage or anomaly damage. By the time you're done activating the skill, you're already going to be running through all that that extra damage you could have been doing at that moment in time. You might as well use Golem as a better protection skill because you're going to have that good single target, single for yourself protection, or even your teammates, depending on what mods you use, and it's just a better choice overall. Finally, we're gonna get Tremor. Now, Tremor, I'm going to be putting in the C tier. Now, Tremor is one that I've been really trying to make work in a longer play. What is so great about it is, one, it's a seismic skill. It's got a lot of good boosts in the bottom tree for you. It heals you for a lot, but also there's the fact that the entire point of like the Tremor itself doing damage, it doesn't really do all that much damage. The seismic ability for it, it's not super great. This tends to be more of a passive healing skill, but there's so many better abilities above that you could put in place for that to make it work. You have something like the statue set where you get that 100% firepower and weapon leech when using either Tremor or Golem. And honestly, you might as well just use Golem instead, where you're able to constantly keep up that Golem with that 100% firepower and stuff like that instead. I think it's a great ability. I think something that they can do to really fix it is just increase the damage of those seismic impulses. I think the healing is kind of on, like right on where it needs to be. But at least for right now, I just put it at C just because the fact that it's not doing a whole lot of damage kind of holds it back. But at the same time, I still think it's a really cool ability. You could probably make a case to put this up to B tier, but I don't think it can really go higher than that at this point in time. Thanks so much for stopping by this video. Again, check out the homie Chadley99 who really inspired us doing this video. Make sure you're subscribing here to the YouTube channel because we are a growing channel. Over 1,000 subs in like a week's time on YouTube here alone. It's been absolutely insane. You guys have shown so much love. I never imagined I'd have a video with like 30,000 views on it. I never imagined I'd have a video with 1,000 views on it, but you guys have been absolutely enjoying the content. I'm so glad to have you all here. Make sure you stop by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/birdman778. I stream every single day starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's the best place to find me. Also find me on Twitter and TikTok at birdman778. Guys, thanks so much. Hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be.